finally. That was.
Mayor Pro Tem, we're live.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the time right now is 7:11. And I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the City Council. Pastor Jackson, if you could lead us in invocation. Everyone who can, if you could please stand.
Father, we come before you right now in the name of the Lord and giving you praise, glory, honor, and thanksgiving. You say to acknowledge you in all of our ways, and you will direct our path. And the city of Baldwin Park need your divine direction. So we're asking you, Lord God, to give the mayor, city council, wisdom and knowledge and understanding and what to do, when to do it, and how to do it to govern the city, Lord God. We're asking you, Father, to put your mighty hand upon our police department to guide, lead, and protect them as they are protecting us, Heavenly Father. And in every situation that you will give them knowledge how to do it and when to do it, and for all parties to come out good. And we're asking you, Lord God, in touching our schools, breaking the power of drugs that's infiltrating in schools and in our city, Lord God, and this thing that even called fentanyl to break its power, that thing, and protect our children, Lord God. We're asking you, Heavenly Father, in touching our homes, Lord, bringing the parents and the children together as one, Lord. We're asking you in touching our businesses to flourish here in Baldwin Park. We're in some perilous times now, more than people really realize where we are. But we're asking you also in touching our government, Lord, and this election that is coming up. See, we don't know what's going to happen the very next day, like the president getting shot, Lord God. So put a hedge of protection around all the parties that are involved in this election and move into Israel with the Israelites and the Palestinians. I'm saying we need your divine direction. In the name of the Lord, we pray. Amen.
If you could please face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You ready, Mayor?
All right. City Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Here.
Member Avila,
Here.
Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Damian.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, City Clerk. So an important announcement. The City Council are also members of the Board of Directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the City Council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. We will move on to our proclamations, commendations, and presentations, and we do have a presentation, certificate of recognition presented to Next Gen students. Oh, yes. So, sorry, before we continue, City Attorney, can you report out from closed session?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The council did meet in closed session, all members being present, and the items identified on the agenda were heard. As to all of the items, no final reportable action was taken. Thank you, Mayor.
Right. All right, so at this moment, I will ask all of the Next Gen participants to join me up here.
Mayor, before we begin presentations, I wanted to close on behalf
Um,
of a community member. And wanted to close on behalf of Antonio Gallegos, who was born September 2nd, 1942 and passed away July 2nd, 2024. Antonio Gallegos was 81 years old from Baldwin Park. He raised his family here. And many of you may have interacted with Rick Gallegos, who was involved with the city for many years as well. This is his father. And so we want to definitely give our condolences to the Gallegos family. The services will be on August 3rd at the Oakdale Mortuary for anybody who is interested in attending. And you can certainly ask me for additional information. But we extend our condolences to the Gallegos family, long time family here in this community, and just deeply saddened for their loss.
Thank you for that, Councilwoman. So at this moment, all the participants, I'm going to ask to join us up here at the dais. So the next gen participants, I believe they're Rafael Godinez, Sabrina Torres, Jose Chavira Ordunez, George Paulino, Eduardo Villalobos, Oliver Reyes, and Sotimon Hun, and Andrew Delgado. Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
How are you enjoying the program? Yeah, did you enjoy the Honor Creek Nature Park activity? Hey, hi. You guys. I'm like, oops, I- go ahead.
Oh, Enrique, you want to help me? These are all the next gen. You're going to confirm what I say, just to make sure I give them the proper credit. So these are all the next gen youth workforce students who work here at the city.
These are representatives of the entire group. We have close to 70 students working. Of course, we couldn't have all 70 here, so these were selected. The students here are selected from the various groups to speak on behalf of all 70. And we're presenting them with these certificates on behalf of all 70. So they are just a, they are a representative group, but we have 70 kids total.
Very good.
Have anyone?
Yeah, they're all going to speak.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'll have your speeches ready, right?
Ready?
All right. We do have a couple certificates, so I'm going to read one so that I don't have to read the same thing 7 times. And then I'll name all of you. So the Baldwin Park City Council congratulates you for your dedication and hard work as a student worker from the Next Gen program. We hope this was a memorable experience and that you enjoyed your time working in the Child Services Department and serving the community. Wish you continued success and thank you for your favorable recognition you bring to this program in our city. For Sabrina Torres. And Jose Chavira Ordunez. Worked in the Community Services Department. We have Rafael Godinez, and he worked in the Community Center Department as well. George Paulino, and he was in the Engineering Division. Hey, so if you see a road bump out there, you blame him, okay? And then the Human Resources Department, we have Eduardo Villalobos Ixta. Finance Department, we have Sotimon Hun. And in the school district's IT department, we have Andrew Delgado. And in the building and safety department, we have Oliver Reyes. Not here. All right, we'll make sure we get this to him. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hand the floor to our representatives from the Next Gen Youth Workforce Program.
Words? One of you go first.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, my name is Andrew Delgado. And I was fortunate enough to be able to work for the ETS department at the Baldwin Park Unified School District. I think I had an amazing experience. I had many opportunities to learn over 3 summers. And I was fortunate enough, thankful to Goodwill, that I was able to expand into my school year as well and be able to assist my technician at my local high school throughout the year with different tasks such as repairing laptops and being able to fix different equipment throughout the classroom. And personally, I got to learn a lot and see the way that technology works and is integrated into our, now our future students and our current students' education. I think it's very interesting in the way that everything's very interconnected. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity that Next Gen Goodwill and the BPUSD department, ETS department was able to offer. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and everyone. My name is Sotimon Hun, and I am the Next Gen Finance student. And I just graduated from Baldwin Park High School, and I will be attending Cal Poly Pomona next semester. I am grateful for the opportunity to learn, work with everyone in the finance department from the day of orientation with the Next Gen program to today. And finance department has helped me grow every step of the way. From orientation day, the accounting manager, Albert, shared with me his ideas, experience, and what I should be expecting to learn and do. My first day entering in the finance department was fun. Rose, the director of finance, introduced me and asked Jenny, the senior finance clerk, to be my lead person. Jenny has been teaching, mentoring, and helping me learn lots of new things, such as scanning, filing, and data entry, and more advanced work such as researching, making journal entries, pulling receipts, helping with assignments I am assigned from staff, etc. And Rose, she would be my mentor or an encouragement, and my motivator. She would come to me from time to time and tell me what good of a job I'm doing. And everyone else in I want to thank Jenny, Albert, Rose, and everyone else in the finance department. I might not have been able to work with everyone in the department so far, but I hope later in the future I can help everyone out. This experience has been a great one, and if I could do it again, I would do it 100 times over. I hope I could spend more time learning under these people to broaden my horizon. There's so much more for me to learn. I would recommend more teens my age to open themselves up to new opportunities, to present themselves and learn or get ahead in life.
My name is Eduardo. I just graduated from Baldwin Park High School. This is my second year in the HR department. I'd like to give a big thanks to Karina Reda, Raquel Franco, and Victoria, who have been my helpers ever since I joined. They have taught me very much a lot of things. Without them, I would not be able to be here. They teach me so many things. The apps that they use and everything, they are very kind to me. They make sure I know everything and I do my very best. And they will always be there to help me. As someone that's going to a business major, I learned a lot. I've been using the same apps that I will be using in college. And it's a great, great experience. I would really recommend it to a lot of new students and a lot of new people to join the Next Gen. It could really help and benefit their future.
Good evening. My name is George Paulino, and I just graduated Sierra Vista High School, and I will be attending University of California, Irvine. And I worked in the engineering department with Sam, Giovanni, David, and much more, many more. And I really learned a lot of going into this department. I learned a lot. I studied traffic control. I studied the Caltrans, and it's really gonna help me a lot, especially in college. And I'm really grateful for everyone in the public works and engineering department, because they really helped me a lot and they made me learn a lot. And I'm just very grateful for them. Thank you.
My name is Sabrina Torres, and good evening, council members and staff. I'm honored to be here tonight speaking to you all, and I'm blessed to have been offered this opportunity. When I first applied last year, I thought that this would be just for the summer, and now I've worked through my whole senior year and going on to my second summer working. This opportunity has opened doors and has led me to meet some incredible people like Miss Myrna, Mr. Mike Salas, and Miss Julie, as well as Mr. Jimmy Wong. And they have shown me nothing but kindness ever since the start and have inspired me to be a better person and a hard worker. I'm grateful to work with Miss Myrna and with Miss Julie because they not only challenge me and push me to be a better worker, but they also challenge me to be a better student and to take on more opportunities such as scholarships and other opportunities. When I came to work into this program, I knew I wanted to work with kids and gain more experience, and I'm grateful for all the relationships I've made with all of my kids and the wonderful leaders and staff who have helped me grow along the way. I've learned so much working this program this past year and a half and wouldn't have had it any other way. While working this program, I got to see behind the scenes of the beautiful city I live in, and I was able to give back to my community, whether helping with homework, or playing with my kids, or even just setting up events. Working here has become a memory I will cherish and will carry on for the rest of my life. Thank you again to Mr. Mike Salas and everyone else who made this experience possible. Thank you for Myrna for taking me under your wing, and thank you, Miss Julie, for always pushing me to be better and helping me out whenever I need it. A big thank you to everyone else here.
Good evening, Baldwin Park. My name is Jose Francisco Chavira Ordunez. This is my second summer working for the Next Gen program. And once again, I am working at the Esther Snyder Community Center, more often known as Morgan Park. And what I've learned throughout these summers that I've worked with this program is just how much goes into these free events that we have for the community and how much our work impacts the community. It is a lot of work, day in, day out, moving unbelievable amounts of things. But it all pays off at the end of the day. Thursday nights when you see everybody enjoying that beautiful music that we have playing loudly on stage. I'd like to give a very special thank you to my manager, Jimmy Wong, who without him, I would not be the employee that I am today. And I truly do believe that my manager, Jimmy Wong, has influenced me in a way that will forever hold my work ethic to a higher standard. And I want to thank the entire community and city of Baldwin Park for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael Godinez, and I work in the community center down the street. This has been a really interesting experience for me. When I was in school, I would always be late. And it just became a big habit that I just stuck with. But then when I started getting paid, I was like, I gotta get there. And I had a great manager, Jimmy Wong. He keeps me working every single day. And like what Jose said, a lot of work does go into it. I was putting in the math and like over $400 for inflating balloons for some kids, inflating some inflatables, setting up everything for them. And I don't regret any minute of it. I enjoyed my time with everyone that I met. Everyone has been super cool, and it made me get skills in communicating with people that I'm really appreciative for. So I want to say thank you for Baldwin Park and this opportunity to express how I feel about the whole program. Thank you. Take your group picture over there. Let's go over there for a picture with the.
All right, guys, we're over here. Bye. You guys are also impressive. Open. One more if you can, 'cause yeah, we're gonna have to validate them.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You want to continue to be supportive, you guys. Thank you, Mijo. Very good. Great job.
Yes, thank you, thank you. All right. Before we move forward, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the youth that volunteered. Well, not even volunteered because they did get a paycheck. So parents, you can charge them a little bit of rent if you want, okay? But no, but it's such an important experience for them to be able to learn work skills at a young age so that they prepare for the workforce, but also they get to learn about government and how things work and how intricate it can get and how complicated it can be sometimes. So really, it helps make them well-rounded in a sense that they are able to work, but also understand how their community works. And so just makes them that much better Baldwin Park residents. So give it up for them one more time.
And Mayor? I just want to say that each individual up here was so impressive. I really enjoyed, hearing about their experience and how it has impacted their lives. And so really want to give a lot of kudos to each one of you for doing that, sharing your experience. It's never easy, but you all did such a great job, and we really appreciate you sharing that information. And also kudos to the parents that have and the community that's helped raise these kids, because they're pretty impressive. Thank you. Mayor?
Yes.
I want to congratulate all the students that were up here, employees of the city of Baldwin Park. That's what you were. I am very proud of you. I'm very proud of this program. It has been very successful this last 3 years. We couldn't have done it with the help of the Baldwin Park Unified School District. We collaborated, we worked together. They made sure the students receive the information so they can sign up for the program. And here we have over 70 students employed at this time. We had over 200, Enrique, at the beginning of the program that went to the initial meeting. It's an excellent program. As some of the students said, they learned a lot of skills, communication skills. I hope every year it gets bigger and bigger, but I just wanted to make sure that we thank the Baldwin Park Unified School District and all the students that were here and that were not here today for participating and really getting out there into the real world and finding out how good it feels to get a paycheck and you could spend it on whatever you want unless you're paying rent to your parents, which I don't think parents are asking for rent, but congratulations and thank you again.
Thank you. I just want to take a brief moment as well, just to acknowledge all the students, especially those who came up and spoke. We do it, twice a month up here, but it could be a little nerve-wracking to have to do public speaking. So I'm really proud of all of you to come up here. I do want to tell you personally, this group and amongst all the rest, when we took our little field trip to the nature park, and I really enjoyed riding the bus with all of you because we had a really good time. So I want to encourage you to just keep going. And, you set yourself up for some specific goals and you guys can meet them. So I'm really proud of all of you. And I think we're all very happy to have had a little part of what makes you who you are now. So thank you so much. And thank you for being part of Next Gen.
I also want to announce we have Dr. Angela Salazar from the school district here at the end. And Diana DeZib, our school board member. I saw her walk in. So thank you personally to you.
I just want to echo to what some of my council colleagues have said. First of all, it's very impressive to hear some of our students because I know it. I mean, even me, when I'm talking up here, believe it or not, I get nervous. But it was very impressive to hear what you guys, said. I did mention all of you guys thanking our staff. So I want to give a big applause to our staff for taking you under their wings and leading you and guiding you and showing you what it is to, to do their jobs. So let's give a round of applause to our staff as well. And, we just want to hope to continue. And I'm glad that our city council, really supports this program. We want to just make sure that we continue this program year after year and see it expand and have the encouragement to have more of our students participate. So again, thank you and congratulations.
Next, we'd like to acknowledge we are giving certificates of recognition to the Waste Management Award of Scholarships and Internships presented to Justin Nicolas Gonzalez Romo and Chelsea Aliana Tang and Gustavo Trujillo Jr. So we're gonna ask you to come up here and join us at the dais. You're hanging around City Hall too much, okay?
I gotta get comfortable, right?
Sorry, you scare me a little bit.
Just let me graduate college, you'll see me.
We have, want to say some words first and then I'll. A little bit about the program.
Easier when you're sitting down, huh? Good evening, everybody. My name is Josh Goldman. I work for Waste Management. I sort of the point of contact here in the city. Still relatively new in the city, but I love Baldwin Park. It's been everyone's been so warm and welcoming. These are 3 students from Baldwin Park High School who applied for our scholarship and internship program. I don't want to take too much time from them, but they're just truly all remarkable students. I remember when I was applying to college, I'm sure most of you do. It seemed a little bit more black and white than it is today, and it seems like the bar has been set so high now for students who are trying to go to college and just move forward in life. And I know myself and Lena Abdullah, she joined us for some of the interviews, and we were just really taken by surprise how much they do and how far they've gone to really set themselves apart from other applicants at their colleges. And they'll probably talk more about themselves, but I also want to introduce my colleague Yvette. She's also new and she'll be working in the city. So yeah, tell them a little bit about yourselves and where you're going to school.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Gonzalez Romo. I'm a recent graduate of Baldwin Park High School. I'm going to call Poly Pomona in the fall. And I just want to say, like, I'm really appreciative to the scholarship. Because of the scholarship, I'm able to actually pay for half of my tuition. This is a lot to me. Not just that, but even just working here, as you can see, I'm here getting paid for it, so it's kind of cool too, you know. But just because of all this, I just also want to say a grand thank you to the waste management team, Joshua. I want to thank the mayor, the city council members, and everybody, and along with my bosses over there, Jimmy Wong and Miss Myrna. Everybody has helped me so much. Everybody has provided so much for me, and that's the main reason I'm here. And I'm gonna be back in the future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gustavo Trujillo Jr. I just graduated from Baldwin Park High School, and I'm going to be attending USC in the fall. Fight on. I just wanted to say thank you to the city of Baldwin Park for giving me the most amazing experiences and just kind of helping me get ready for adult life. I want to say thank you to my parents for kind of giving me that silver platter of everything they've taught me. And thank you to the Baldwin Park Unified School District for all the opportunities they've given me.
Good evening, citizens of Baldwin Park. I am Chelsea Tang, and I would like to thank everyone that has been able to allow me to get this internship, such as Mr. Goldman, and I don't believe he's here with us right now today, but Mr. Taylor Stewart, which they have been very helpful in guiding me through this entire internship, which has only started recently, but I feel like I still have learned so much from them and have learned a lot about just work experience in general. And you know, money doesn't hurt. So I'm very glad to have gotten this experience. And as a rising senior for Baldwin Park High School, I am glad to take all of this experience with me and channel it into my new endeavors. Thank you so much.
We do have some certificates of recognition. And Gustavo, I think Gustavo's been really good at taking advantage of all the programs that we brought forward. I think we're gonna have to give him an honorary seat here since he's here so often. But our first one is for Gustavo Trujillo Jr. Congratulations on receiving the 2024 Waste Management Scholarship Award The Baldwin Park City Council commends you for your dedication and hard work. We wish you continued success on your academic endeavors and thank you for your favorable recognition you bring to your school and the city of Baldwin Park. Yeah, he's eyeing the wrong seat. He's eyeing my seat, so I'm gonna put him on. And we have one for Chelsea Tang. Congratulations on receiving the 2024 Waste Management Internship Award. The Baldwin Park City Council commends you for your dedication and hard work. We wish you continued success on your academic endeavors and thank you for your favorable recognition you're bringing to your school and the city of Baldwin Park. And we have one for Justin Nicolas Gonzalez Romo. Congratulations on receiving the 2024 Waste Management Scholarship and Internship Award. The Baldwin Park City Council commends you for your dedication and hard work. We wish you continued success on your academic endeavors and thank you for your favorable recognition you bring to your school and the city of Baldwin Park.
Okay, I think we need to breathe a little more, right? You need us to move in? Oh, yeah, you're tall. Okay, how's that? Jim, can you come in a little? Like. I'm black.
Hey. I think we're out of time.
Okay.
Where's the phone? Hey, Josh. There's a business card. Okay. All right, thank God. Yeah. All right, next, we want to acknowledge our Recreation and Community Services Department. So we're gonna ask all of our RCS team to come up here and join us. That's all the people in the blue polos back there?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's like maybe half. Really? RCS. Yeah, they have a lot of part-timers too, right? Yeah, they do. Okay, makes them.
Come on up, staff. Everyone who's dressed like me. Everyone who's dressed like me.
I saw that. I'm like, hey.
Put a shirt on? I didn't see a shirt on.
Hi, honey. How are you? You're always. Wow. I know. I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say.
She says the screen focuses it, and then once you hit the front button, it just starts taking the picture. It's gonna be that's
All right.
I have a perfect window right here.
Are we ready?
Yeah, ready?
See, just a testament to how well they are at coordinating. It's great. Oh, we do want to. Where's
Jimmy, the manager.
okay. Jimmy's been the star of the show. So July, we want to proclaim July 2024 as Parks Make Life Better. And before I read the proclamation, I do want to acknowledge all the work that our Recreation and Community Services Department does. And it goes from, yes, give a round of applause to our they really do help the community and all of us with a spectrum of needs, from just fun and entertainment all the way to those fundamental needs such as housing, shelter, food, the food drives that we've been doing for the past 4 years. And so, you know, they play a very, very big role in our development and the safety and entertainment of our youth and their development as well. And it's so very, very important that we recognize that and we give them a big thank you. And so Parks Make Life Better, July 2024. Whereas Parks and Recreation promotes physical, emotional, and mental health and wellness through organized and self-directed fitness, play, and activity. And whereas Parks and Recreation supports the economic vitality of communities by partnering with local businesses and nonprofits and offering events for residents' engagement. And whereas Parks and Recreation creates memorable experiences through youth sports and enrichment activities, teen centers and programs, senior centers activities, adult fitness, enrichment programs, free community events, and beyond. And whereas Parks and Recreation fosters social cohesiveness in communities by celebrating diversity, providing spaces to come together peacefully, modeling compassion, promoting social equity, connecting social networks, and ensuring all people have access to its benefits. And whereas Parks and Recreation strengthens community identity by providing facilities and services that reflect and celebrate community character, heritage, culture, history, aesthetics, and landscape. And whereas Parks and Recreation sustains and stewards our natural resources by protecting habitats and open space, connecting people to nature, and promoting the ecological function of parkland, and provide vital services to communities through local, national, or global emergencies, all while adhering to the guidelines set forth by governing agencies. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Jean M. Ayala, Council members Alejandra Avila, Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, City Clerk Christopher Sines, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, do hereby proclaim July 2024 as Parks Make Life Better Month in the City of Baldwin Park, and call upon all citizens and community members to recognize the importance of access to local parks, trails, open space, and to participate in program activities and events in our city. He's giving us a little speech.
I'll say something first. Maria will. I'd like to thank all of the recreation workers for doing such a phenomenal job. I mean, we heard some of the students out there saying, you know, they move so much, and they do, from, you know, Thursday mornings setting up, you know, the concerts, a couple of events that we've had this week. They've been amazing. And I want to thank each and every one of you for just an amazing job. Maria?
Yes, Honorable Mayor and City Council, we want to thank you for the recognition and acknowledging staff work. Unfortunately, our director couldn't be here today, but he wants to make sure we share that he is very proud of the work that you all do. And with that, we want to invite you to tomorrow's concert at 7 p.m. at Morgan Park. Join us for Mariachi y Los Camperos. Thank you.
We're gonna take a picture and then we'll do comments. All right, let's all squeeze in.
By the way, former recreation employee right there. Bye, thank you. I'll just go. Oh, no. I'll take it. Please, I'm like sweating and dying. I know everyone is leaving, but I do want to take a moment. Thank you. Thank you. I do want to take a moment, because we were going to do our comments after a big photo. I just want to take a moment because I don't have to tell Maria, and Manny knows too, but recreation holds a very deep part of me. When I started serving for the city, I served as a commissioner for recreation community service. So I'm a product of your programs growing up here all my life. And I just want to thank each and every one of you because without you, really, our city shines really great. So I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart to thank you for what you do on the daily with every facet of our community, all kinds of groups in our community. So thank you so much. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I won't keep you guys long because I know you guys want to go. I just want to say thank you very much. You guys know we appreciate all the work that you guys do along with our other departments. But I know the hard work that goes into setting up and taking down. So just know that your work doesn't go unnoticed and we appreciate every single thing that you guys do. And with that, we will see you guys tomorrow at the concert with the mariachi. Have a good night.
I also want to thank every single one of you for everything that you do out there. It's not only concerts in the park, it's every single event in the city, whether it's the Parks and Recreation sponsoring the event or not. You guys are everywhere. You are seen everywhere. And the best thing about it is that I have had people come to me, tell me that you guys are always in a good mood, providing good customer service when you guys are out there. And that is so awesome. Thank you for being the face of Baldwin Park. We appreciate you.
I'll take the opportunity as well to say thank you. You guys are such hard workers, and especially in extreme weather, whether it's super hot or super cold, you're there, you're so committed. Your work ethic is just, we just appreciate it so much. And I do want to say, as Vice Mayor mentioned, you are making an impact on people's lives. From the youth to families to seniors, you're making their lives better. And they're not going to forget the experience that you guys provided because of all of your hard work. So just want to say thank you. The words cannot express just how appreciative we are of you. So thank you so much for all that you do in our community.
Right. So. You didn't hear my.
Okay, why don't you go ahead?
You didn't hear the whole spiel at the beginning, but I'll say it again. We are very you know, we're very cognizant of how important the department is. And as I mentioned earlier, you support the city and not just entertainment and fun and activities, but also in the fundamental needs. And a lot of the programs that we've been able to bring up together have been award winning, and we recognize it, and we're very excited because it puts Baldwin Park on the map and it shows other cities how big of an impact government can have in people's lives and how positive it can be. So anything from Posada, where we celebrate you know, just coming together during the holidays, or the tiny homes, which we've twice, you know, been recognized for them, and they bring so much positivity, not just to people's lives, but also to our image, and it's something that really sets an example for everybody else, and we wouldn't be able to do it without all of you. And also, you know, with the food drives that you've been doing for the past 4 years, making sure that people aren't going hungry during the pandemic, make sure that they're being taken care of, sometimes even being at exposure yourselves. We recognize that it's been a tumultuous 4 years, but you have all been providing stability, not just to City Hall, but also to all the residents in the area. So your job is very, very important. I want to make sure that you are aware of that, but also that you're aware that we recognize and appreciate everything you do.
You are rock.
All right. Have a great night, everyone.
Mayor, before we go on, I'd just like to acknowledge. I would just like to acknowledge our school board president, Diana Tzib. So thank you for being here. Also, I want to acknowledge our Valley County Water District Director, David Muse. So thank you for being here, both of you. We appreciate you.
So at this moment, we will go ahead and open up public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Mayor. We're going to begin with Irma Morales with the Baldwin Park Library.
Good evening, Mayor Estrada, City Council members, city leaders, and community members. So I wanted to talk about some of the upcoming programs we have at Baldwin Park Library. Currently, we are having our story time for toddlers and preschoolers. The story time happens on Thursdays from 11 to 11:30. There is registration required. So at the end, I will give you everybody the website so that people can register for the programs. We also have a teen program coming up on Saturday, July 20th. It's a craft program, a summer craft. And then we have a free vaccine clinic that is for school readiness for kids. And that's going to happen on Tuesday, July 23rd from 1 to 3 o'clock. All the information about the library and ongoing programs can be found at lacountylibrary.org. Thank you.
Next, we have Cecilia Bernal.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members, city staff. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for your donation to the Eastside Little League and helping us start back up this year. We could not have done it without you guys. We were able to have 11 teams. We were able to compete with other districts in District 19. We were able to do 6, 7, 8 select tournament, TOC tournament, All-Stars. We were able to host All-Stars for District 19, as well as the sectional tournaments for 4 other districts that came to our park. So thank you so much for that. The mayor was talking about putting Baldwin Park on the map. And I just want to say that this year, 2024, we have history with our Baldwin Park softball teams. We have 2 leagues. Last year, we had 1 league that made it to regionals, and you guys helped get them to Arizona. Well, they have won back-to-back. So they have now won again state. They will be going to the regionals this coming weekend, or they're en route. They're en route or they're already. And then our senior division has made it to regionals as well. They will be going to Montana. So again, I'm coming to you guys again to see what kind of help the city can give to help transport them, to house them. They will be there all the way until, I believe, next Tuesday at least. We do have one of the presidents here, Eddie Chavez, as well as our district administrator, Nicole Barajas, in support of helping to send them. They are working really hard. I think tonight at both leagues, they are having a taco fundraiser. They have GoFundMe's. So anything you can do, we will really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, we have Dan Tran.
Good evening, Mayor Estrada and City Council members. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for your service to the community. My name is Dan Tran, and I am running for State Assembly, District 48. Being in Baldwin Park this evening brings me back fond memories of my childhood when I used to play ball at Morgan Park with my friends. I'm here tonight to introduce myself and to meet the citizens of Baldwin Park and hear from them what is important to D48 community. It is my goal to serve the city and District 48 come November, God willing. I'll be here an entire night. Please stop by and say hi. Let's chat. Have a good evening.
At this time, we will call Anita Diaz.
Good evening. I'm Anita Diaz. I appreciate very much the recognition recreation officers and the commissioners and participants of the recreation and commissions team. I was wondering right now that we are in the Parks and Recreation Month, Appreciation Month. It is not mine, but I'm sure the community's vision to have maybe some kind of collaboration with the school district. As we've all known, the schools, some of the schools have been closed, and it would be nice. It would be a good, maybe a thought, maybe something you can take in consideration to work with the school district now that Pleasant View is closed and Margaret Heath is closed. Maybe you can work with some kind of adult soccer field, maybe a youth soccer field to dedicate to the specific genres. Another thing perhaps would be maybe to convert Central School. I think, as I understand, that is also closed. That would be a good, maybe a location for the Roadrunners could have their own field. I mean, it's good. Morgan Park is wonderful, but it seems like it has to maybe have satellite parks or have satellite sports fields so they can, just so they can practice. That's an important thing with sports, is that you need to have practice fields separate from the center of the park here in the centers of the school of the city. Another thought too would be Alwyn School, where Baldwin Park American is based in. It was their concern to also have maybe this create like a field of dreams. That would be a good location to have multiple fields and leagues, and maybe have a collaboration with the other little leagues also. It was just a food for thought. Thank you for your time.
Mayor, and City Council, I also received an email that I'll be happy to pass along with you. It has additional details on the fundraising. Has additional details on fundraising efforts and dates for the both softball tournaments. Those details will be provided to you. Thank you.
Is there any more speaker cards, City?
No, that wraps up everything.
Right. So at this moment, if you didn't if you didn't fill out a speaker card, now is your time.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Javier. First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Gina Ayala, Councilmember Danny Damian, and City Clerk Christopher for stopping by at the Senior Center and just say hello. I mean, you don't know, some of the seniors, you just make their day when you stop by. And I wish that more of you would stop by once in a while. I mean, they really appreciate it. I might not see it, but I hear it from them. So thank you. Also, Maria, you got a great staff from the senior center. This is the first year that I seen all of them up there. I mean, I wish they were still here so I can thank them because they do a lot, and they put up a lot of from the seniors, and I'm one of them. So, I mean, I wish they were here so I can thank them, but I'll thank them all tomorrow personally. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Ed Chavez and the council members and everybody else on the panel here. My name is Ed Chavez. I represent Baldwin Park National Little League. I am also on the District 19 board as assistant. Says right here. Shoot, I'm sorry. Assistant District Administrator. I'm sorry. I get a little nervous. But I just want to kind of piggyback on what Ms. Bernal Cecilia mentioned about putting Baldwin Park on the map. We're very proud of the progress that the girls have made, the 14U and also the 16U teams. Like she mentioned, 16U is in Montana. The 14U is heading over to Arizona. And then we also have a 14U junior baseball team that is currently in the hunt still to represent Baldwin Park in Oregon. So they'll be playing tomorrow night and then Friday 2 games. So they got 3 games to play. I want to thank Ms. Ayala and Mr. Christopher Sines because the boys are playing in Moreno Valley and they show up there. They've been there at the games to help us to help support the teams and cheer them on and stuff. So I encourage you to. I also invite you guys over to see the progress that these teams are making. We were out with the girls over in Glendale. And these girls, Baldwin Park, these teams are representing Baldwin Park as warriors, as fighters, you know, and their accomplishment is just amazing. And we're also very proud of them. And I just kind of asked right now, like Cecilia said, they're currently doing fundraising and stuff, just so that to allow for their travels and their boarding and all that stuff. So I just I wanted to ask you guys if you could please, you know, there's a couple fundraisers that we're doing. La Michoacana is also doing a fundraiser on the 19th. If you guys could just kind of go out there and show some support to help us fundraise some money for the girls and for the boys too. Thank you.
Great. Anybody else looking to speak? Ellen?
Hello again. Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you so much. As some of you may know or may not know, I am also the president for the California Parks and Recreation Society Recreation Section. So I do want to thank you all on behalf of our CPRS State Board that you proclaimed tonight in Baldwin Park as National Parks and Recreation Month. It's very important that city councils all over the state of California continue to support and recognize the importance of parks in our communities. Believe it or not, there are still some cities who do not proclaim July as the month of Parks and Recreation Month, but parks do make a difference in a lot of communities. So it's a very valuable resource, and some cities, as we know, are park deserts. And so we are very fortunate to have such a strong and supportive city council. So I just wanted to tell you that we appreciate it and we are very thankful. So CPRS as a whole really enjoys and believes in saying thank you when a city proclaims July as Parks and Recreation Month. So thank you very much. And I hope that you continue to proclaim each July as National Parks and Recreation Month and that you continue to support all that you're doing for the community here in Baldwin Park. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Have a good night.
Right. Is there anybody else looking to speak? Not, I will go ahead and close the public communications. And I think that it's really nice to see that our Little Leagues are really making strides and representing Baldwin Park throughout, not just in the region or the state, but outside of the state. And I think that's a conversation we can have at the council communication portions of the agenda. So at this moment, we will continue the city council meeting and we will go into the consent calendar. Is there any items?
Mayor,
council?
before you get to the consent calendar, I do want to make a motion to let the record reflect that there is an amendment to the transfer agreement distributed to the city council, item number 5.
Number 7?
Oh, no.
Number 5?
No, number 5.
Okay.
Full numbers.
All right. So we will make sure that we note that. We'll note that, and then we're going into the consent calendar, and I believe that we will also pull item number 7. So is there any items council is looking to pull besides item number 7? If not, we'll make a motion to approve the consent calendars excluding item 7 and making the proper adjustments to recognize the amendment on item number 5. Lily, second. City Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Garcia. Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. At this moment, we will discuss item number 7. Enrique, do you want to go ahead and?
Yes,
lead?
Mayor, we want to pull it from the agenda, not for discussion. So we'll bring back the item. There was some significant change that we need to sort of reconsider this.
Great. Okay. So we'll make the motion to table it till a further date.
Yes.
Once we're ready to have the discussion with the adequate information. Can I have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. So we are at the reports of officers, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on city's authority to enforce camping ordinances. Who is taking the lead on this item?
So I'll start out, then our city attorney and then the chief and maybe the other departments as well. This is a multi-department task force that works on issues of homelessness and housing, if you will. But this particular significant change in how the legal framework for enforcing camping laws in the public way has gone through a major change by a Supreme Court recent ruling. The law of the land up until that ruling had been what was guided by two national cases that had been rendered by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And essentially, on the one case known as the Martin case, we as cities or any jurisdiction needed to ensure that there was always sufficient shelter beds for all unhoused individuals to be able to enforce any anti-camping laws. So that has guided most of the policies in California and actually the entire Western United States, including ourselves. And then there was another ruling that had a similar effect. Anyway, the Supreme Court recently overturned both those cases and gave cities back the authority to enforce camping enforcement laws. And so we have not changed anything from what we were doing before. We're going through this analysis of the ruling. We're presenting you sort of a factual analysis for now, without any recommendations per se, other than we continue to address homelessness and encampments in the same way that we have been doing per your policy. But we do definitely want to go over some of the legal analysis, which our city attorney will do, and then the chief will talk about how our field operations have been running based on your policies. So Norma?
Yes, thank you, Enrique. So the Supreme Court decision that came down at the end of June overruled what was called the Grants Pass case, which was an Oregon case where they had amended their ordinance, their city ordinance, their encampment ordinance, to respond to the original case, which was Martin, which provided the restrictions. So a lot of cities across the country, the Western United States, submitted briefs in support of this and really wanted the Supreme Court to make a decision because it had hamstringed local agencies' ability to enforce some of these encampments and arguably made the homeless situation a little bit worse because of the confusion that it had raised. And so the court ultimately, the question before the court was really addressing whether the cruel and unusual punishment clause of the Eighth Amendment, whether these enforcement of these camping laws constituted cruel and unusual punishment. And so their answer was no, it didn't, and that the Eighth Amendment in this case didn't apply. And so they made some of their analysis made the distinction between what was considered a status law versus an action law. And so the Martin case, the holding of the Martin case basically said, well, homelessness is a status. And so by enforcing these laws, you're criminalizing homelessness. You're criminalizing the status of homelessness. And so what the Supreme Court distinguished that and said, no, really what these laws are doing are enforcing the action of encampment, the action of camping in public rights of way. And they give examples of how it wasn't specific to a homeless person, but it could also apply to somebody that was just passing by, a student that was protesting and setting up encampments, et cetera. So they determined that no, that these type of laws are not criminalizing homelessness and are not basing it on status. So they made that distinction. And so ultimately the impact of the case is, as Enrique mentioned, that cities now have essentially regained a little bit of their authority to enforce these encampment laws. The court did mention that homelessness is a very complicated issue with complicated root causes, and that it requires a multifaceted approach. And in essence, they wanted to give the authority back to policymakers to determine how to address homelessness as opposed to judges making those determinations. And so that was ultimately how the court held. And so what that means for the city is, as Enrique mentioned, the current ordinance in the city hasn't been amended since the early 2000s. So it essentially, our current ordinance does prohibit camping and storing of personal property, and does make it unlawful to do things such as cooking, sleeping, and setting up living accommodations in public right of way. And so my understanding is that hadn't been enforced in recent years since the Martin case. And so this decision by the Supreme Court puts that tool back in the city's toolkit in terms of addressing this issue. And it's certainly something that can be revisited. The city's ordinance revisited in light of the Supreme Court decision to, maybe make some clarifications or bolster the existing language in the ordinance. But again, we're not making any recommendations today, but, just wanted to give you an update as to what the court's reasoning was. Happy to take any questions.
Chief, you want to talk about how we always lead with outreach and the approach that you take and your officers take in engaging with the folks in the street?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Council, Honorable Council. Initially, when I first got here, one of the things that I looked at was the issue of homelessness and how we were approaching the issue. And initially, Sergeant Winter was keeping his own way of tracking those individuals and working with them. So I took a look at that, and unfortunately, one of the things that we looked at or where we were participating was Host, and Host did not give us enough time here in the city. So I took it one step further and began working with Sergeant Winter and added Officer Izzo into the process to make it more of a daily routine where we would contact our individuals who are facing homelessness or dealing with street homelessness and offering them services that through LACADA and LAHASA and it seemed to work, and it was working because of the way we've embraced that, and the city has allowed me to embrace that. I've added another officer, and we've changed the name from host to the core, which is community outreach, resource, and the engagement team. And their mission and their goal is to continue to work with those individuals, especially through the extensive training that I've sent them to understand the issues relative to homelessness, and then also the mental health issues that some of these individuals are dealing with. Keeping in mind that we're not making it a crime, but we're trying to find solutions for these individuals to find the services that they need. As I've talked to Officer Zizzo and Barrios, a lot of it has to do with gaining the confidence of the individual we're in contact with. So it takes quite a bit of time and to gain that confidence so that they're willing to accept the services that we have identified and we can provide. I believe this week we did place 5 individuals who were habitual homeless individuals here in the city, and they've accepted the resources that we were able to find for them. So we're making a strong headway in the visible homelessness. Now we've got the pockets that we have to deal with, and again, some of the individuals have substance abuse and also mental health issues. So we're working to make sure that we're keeping that in mind, and that the enforcement is the last thing that we want to do. We want to make sure that we help our folks and get them the help that they need. And oftentimes they're actually residents of the city and have family within the city. So we're trying to work with the families as well to encourage them to assist us getting them the help. So we continue to do that. And then we work with not only we work with RCS, we work with Public Works, and we work with community development to use some of the resources that the city provides, especially when we're talking about cleanups. Public Works works hand in hand on the times that we need to use their resources to clean up locations that we have that have been brought to our attention. We do that, or through Officer Zizzo and Barrios, who also do I guess I could say a maintenance process in identifying locations and then encouraging those individuals to accept resources and cleaning up the area as well. So we've had some successful cleanups, especially in the area of the river. There was quite a huge encampment in there, and which also had cars and stolen cars and those kind of things. So brought the sheriffs in, and they have a team that's dedicated to it, Caltrans. So a lot of the things is over the time is having Officer Zizzo and Barrios establish those connections, those resources that we use every day. So we're continuing to do that process. I'm hoping to add more officers, but all our new officers spend time with Officers Izzo and Barrios, and they ride around with them for a week so that they understand the dynamics of how to work with people, how to work with our homeless individuals, so that it's more of a collaboration and nobody's reluctant or afraid to work those issues because of the not knowing the dynamics of how to deal with and how to manage individuals who have substance abuse or mental health issues.
Thank you, Chief.
So I know that the Grants Pass court case has been kind of something that we've been eyeing for a very, very long time, and it kind of came and it was pretty disappointing to see that the court would overturn that decision. And it's a little complicated because it kind of takes away that responsibility from each individual agency or municipality to do their part on homelessness, and it's something that we've struggled with. And I say that from a regional perspective, being in a lot of those committees. But I would just say that to me, it's very important that we keep on the trajectory we've been doing, where we're leading with empathy, and we have the results to show for it that it works. We've seen our homeless count decrease, and we've seen a lot of people be prevented from ending up on the street through our services and programs. And I do want to acknowledge that PD has done a really good job in being willing to learn and involved and understanding the complexities that comes with it. And And that's really important to me. And I know that Public Works has also helped in making up these cleanups. I know that, like you mentioned, I think I was there for one of the sheriff's route on the underpasses. So I know that we want to make sure that we use the ruling as a tool for us to make sure that we can deal with certain individuals. But we also want to make sure that we are continuing building that rapport and engagement with the people so that they have that comfort and trust in our agency, so that when they're ready to take that help, they'll know that they can come to us. A lot of the times very complex, and I say that as somebody who works with a diverse group of homeless individuals. Not about just building a resource and expecting people to rush to it, right? They have to gain the trust. They have to be able to build that relationship and be comfortable taking the help. Being in a vulnerable position is not always easy, and I understand that. And like I said, we've been pretty good on the trajectory we are. And I want to make sure that we don't lose sight of that as we move forward.
Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. I want to say the Supreme Court ruling was a surprise, but I know that as a city, we are doing the right thing. As you said, Chief, we're working with the homeless with empathy. We're making sure they're being taken care of. As I've always said, these are human beings that, God forbid, one day they're going to be our brother, our sister, our mother, maybe ourselves. And we need to make sure that we are respecting them and providing the services that they need, not just pushing them off the encampments that they're at, but making sure that we continue to give them the services that are out there for them. And hopefully they'll accept, like the 5 individuals that recently accepted, because if we can get one person off the street, that's a big deal. So hopefully those that are homeless can see and understand that we do care here in the city of Baldwin Park. We may not like the way the encampment looks. Of course, if they're a threat to our community, then we need to take a different approach, and I know you have. So we just take it as a individual basis, is my understanding, correct? So we take it case by case, and the most important thing, like I said, is that you're caring. I've seen your officers work with the homeless. I've done ride-alongs with the officers, and I see how these homeless people do respect our officers, and the officers respect them, and they have gained their trust. And I think if we continue that way, we will make a bigger impact. We're not just cleaning up the city, but we're actually putting these individuals in a home where they can be happy, where they can live a better life. So thank you for continuing that process. I do expect for our city to continue that. And just because that ruling passed, it doesn't mean we have to just clean it up like they say and just push them out of the way. No, we will continue to do our best and thank the officers and our new officers that are getting the training. It is important that they know how to talk to these individuals because some of them are difficult. Again, I know you have our priority to make sure the rest of our citizens are safe, and it will be on a case-by-case basis. So thank you.
Mayor, I think it's a positive ruling for cities. And, in the past, I think some of the challenges have been that cities have had their hands tied to really come up with policies that make sense for their jurisdiction. And I think what has been discussed today is pretty much a framework for our staff report and for the item that's going to come back to us for review. And that is, that the city now has the ability to identify, create a policy that serves our community as a whole, and one that, we can put our support behind, but that absolutely leads with empathy and with outreach and with access to services and education. But ultimately, we have the ability to take action when it's called for and when everything else has been exhausted. So I think, the conversation here has pretty much laid a framework, and, you have the direction to bring something back to us with that. but I don't see this as a bad thing, because if you look at the city of Los Angeles, you look at the city of San Francisco, you know, one of the reasons why things have really gotten out of hand is because our hands have been tied. We have not experienced homelessness to that magnitude. And, you know, in the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, I've seen an increase of homeless coming in, and I'm glad that we are providing services and, you know, being very compassionate, because I think that's important. But at the end of the day, you know, we do have to identify policies that serve our community and, you know, the unique challenges in our community and our community as a whole too. So we've had residents come in and talk about some of the encampments near, what is it, the 99-cent store, and the great challenges with that. You've also had challenges. And I think our police department has been doing a great job. Our city has been doing a great job, recreation and community services, working, you know, with our partners. But I do think that it's a good thing. And I'm glad to be able to revisit an outdated policy.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that this ruling, what it did was it just put it back in the hands of each municipality to come up with their own ordinance as they see fit for their community. But first, you know, I want to thank the chief, and Chief, I know that Officer Barrios and Officer Izzo have been doing an amazing job out there, along with Sergeant Winter. As you guys know, you know, our homelessness count has dropped 70% within the last 4 years. And there was a time where you drive down the city and down the street, and you're going to run into a transient out there somewhere. Lately, that has diminished a lot. I've been out and I haven't seen a transient maybe on one side of the city. So I think that you guys are doing a great job. I believe that, as Councilmember Avila said, you know, we deal on a case-by-case basis, right? Not everything is the same. But I think that this ruling has just put the power back into the city's hands to be able to come up with their own ordinance. I know that, Chief, that we've had a conversation. I know this is for a later time, but we need to find you funding for when you're dealing with the transients out there with your team, with Izzo and Barrios and Winter. So that's something that we need to look into to help you come up with funding so that you can assist, because it is very important for our homeless individuals that are out there, that especially if they're from our own community, right? Because we get some that we don't even know where they come from. But especially the ones that are from our own community, it is important that they gain that trust, right? And that they do. I mean, just the fact that you had 5 individuals in 1 week accept services, that's amazing. You know, that just shows me that your officers are working with these individuals and they have the trust to go ahead and accept services from them. And I also want to thank the rest of our staff, you know, Public Works and Community Development and RCS, because, you know, like we've said before, we're teamwork. So in order for us to succeed, we have to come together as a team and make sure that we work together. And that's what you guys have been doing. So we're here to support you in any way possible. Just keep up the great work, and we'll discuss, you know, funding situations for that task force that you have on hand at a future time. So, but with that, thank you very much. Appreciate your hard work.
Thank you, sir.
Great. And so before we move on, I do want to just bring up that we did have that discussion a couple of meetings ago about the plazas and the parks and certain trouble areas. So as we navigate the overturning of grants pass, I want to make sure we keep those in mind. We bring them back as well to see how this can help us in those situations. So at this moment, we are at the City Council acting as successor agency for the dissolved Community Development Commission, and there is 3 items on there, SA1 through SA3, and I'll make a motion to approve those items.
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Garcia. Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Great, thank you for that. City Clerk, we do have a Finance Authority consent calendar, and I make a motion to approve that. Can I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila.
Yeah.
Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. So I believe we are officially done. I do have some comments I want to make, but I know Councilmember Damian put his on. So Councilmember Damian, you have the floor first.
Thank you, Mayor. So mine is to seek consensus from my colleagues to direct staff to pursue the development of an MOU with the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, for the placement into housing of young adults exiting the foster care system or transitional housing, utilizing DCFS housing voucher program, similar to the funding funded by HUD, but separate and independent from the city Section 8 housing voucher program. And it's interesting that this email came to me literally after maybe a couple of weeks after I had received a call from one of our school board members that was attending the North Park high school graduation. And they were kind of, trying to figure out what to do because this young adult was graduating from North Park, but he was also turning 18 and had already been told by his foster family that they were going to be kicking him out of the house when he turned 18. So, not knowing, what was going to happen, where to go, we started thinking, we do have a lot of people like that in the foster system that are, turning 18. And unfortunately, what can you say? But there are families or individuals that for some reason or another taking these foster kids. And I believe, in my personal opinion, the money is more important to them than the actual child itself. And to me, that's just disgusting. But what can you do? So I started thinking, what is a young adult at the age of 18, 19, 20 years old do when, they're living with a family and all of a sudden at 18, they're graduating. Instead of being rewarded, you're being kicked out to the street. So when this email came to me, I wanted to find out more information about it. I did meet with Dexter and some of their staff members, and then I brought city staff involved to have a meeting. And so what they do is they provide and they do all the intake forms. So it kind of alleviates a lot of the work from our individual housing authority to have to do that intake, time to take the intake form and stuff. They already vet the individual because in a sense, they're getting a Section 8 voucher. These young adults need to, cover 30% of their rent. So I would like for, my council colleagues to support staff to bring back a staff report so that we can get an MOU going with the DCFS services. And if anybody has any questions.
I think that's a great idea, Councilmember Damian, and I'm even wondering if there's, like workforce development opportunities that could be prioritized for these kinds of cases. Because having an 18-year-old, just kind of throwing them out into the real world, even 30% is a lot for an 18-year-old.
And it's interesting you say that because they do have an interim, right? Where some of these kids that are 18 are not prepared because they give an example as to some of them don't even know how to do their own laundry because, the individuals that they were living with just did it for them because they didn't want them to break the washing machine. Or just give us examples like that. But they do have where they kind of team them up with another roommate of the same sex and they help them. They have case management that helps them become responsible, how to do their laundry, how to go out shopping for the groceries, how to get a job, get their driver's license or security cards, whatever it is. So they have a system in place, but for this particular reason or this particular purpose, they already have these adults vetted where they can actually cover their 30% of the rent. We don't have to start. There's a non-competitive process that would allow us 50 vouchers annually. It may be too much to take in. I know City of Pomona started with 5 and increased to, I believe, was 15, Enrique. So, we can start small. And if we see that the program is working and we have the need, then we can always request more vouchers for that.
That's a great idea. Heard it.
That's a good idea. Not just emphasize that it's really important to get transitional age youth services in place for these youth. A lot of the times, and I see it in my work, 18 to 24 is a special place where the resources are more abundant. And once they age out, they enter the adult system and it becomes incredibly more difficult and it lowers their chances of success. So it's a really good initiative to take.
I also agree with what my colleagues are saying, but I support you, on that endeavor, and I totally back you because it's something that's really necessary, especially for youth at that age that, college isn't their option, what are they going to do? And they need some help. So I'm totally in support of that. Thank you.
Any more comments from Councilmember Damian?
Mayor, I did have another comment. I didn't add it to the agenda, but it's something that we've heard a lot over and over since we started the concerts in the park a few weeks ago. As you guys may know, there's a new layout, right? Compared to what it was in the past. So I've had a lot of people, vendors, just community members, kind of begging, why don't we just leave it this way for the whole 10 weeks, right? Let's not move to the street. Let's leave it here. I know at the street, I even had a conversation with the chief in regards to safety. And where would it be better if it would be, is it safer to have it at the park? Rather than 5 weeks at the park and 5 weeks on the street. I know that at the street, we have 2 stages, right? Because we want to make sure we have that flow so that people are going to every vendor there. And I know it's too late for this year because I know, and Maria will probably tell us better on that, but I think it would be wise for us to explore the possibilities of maybe looking into keeping it to 10 weeks at the park, because in my opinion, and in others, you're getting kind of the best of both, right? Because you have the park, you have it where the kids are a little bit more comfortable because they're able to sit on the grass, play on the grass or the playground. And then you have the street where if you want to have that street experience, you still have that street without actually having to close Main Avenue. But I think it's something that it's worth exploring to see if it's something that we can agree on and if it's even worth doing. So I was just saying, maybe have staff come back with some options for us and see if it's worth exploring for next year.
Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to add that I've actually had the same experience. A lot of people coming to me, there's more space, there's a lot more room for people to move around. They actually have a better view of the band because they actually get a closer up to the band. And I also talked to a few of our police officers, and safety wise, they can get a better handle of any situation that may arise, because being at the street, even though it's really nice, it's very narrow. So for example, when we have big bands showing up, the street gets packed, the sidewalks are packed, that you can't even maneuver around, you can move. In an emergency, we would not be able to get our emergency responders through there quick. I mean, we would have to, but it would be a lot more difficult. And the way it's set up at the park, they have more access for our emergency to come in and access whatever. They have different accesses that they can come into the park in case of an emergency, God forbid. But I had quite a few. They just like the layout a lot better. It's a lot fresher out there because you're actually on the grass and not on the cement on the street, which is a lot hotter. So I agree that maybe we should consider looking to the options to see what would work better, see if we can continue it here at the park for the following year, or what the best options are. Of course, Parks and Recreation are the experts, and they can look into it and get guidance from the chief to see what is the safest route to go to continue the parks. We're not going to take anything away. We're just going to make it safer for everybody, but it wouldn't hurt to look at it.
Mayor, I want to express my support for that as well.
And speaking of parks, I know that we've seem to have some issues. There's like an overload of use on the splash pad. I think a lot of people have kind of been complaining because it kind of goes off a little bit earlier than it should. And I know that it gets a little complicated with the system. And but I know that Parks has also been doing a lot of the splash events. So maybe we can increase that or find other ways to mitigate and reduce the strain on the splash pad so that, the kids can stay a little bit cooler during the heat and it gets excessive. So I just want to bring that up. Well, hopefully that's something we can look at. But the points I wanted to bring are election season has officially started. I know that we've started the filing process. 2 years ago, we started the campaign contribution limits that bar contractors or anybody that's interested in having business with the city barred from giving direct contributions to individuals. So I just want to make sure, if we haven't already, that we make it a norm to send out a letter to all of our contractors so that they are aware of the ordinance, so that they don't end up in a sticky situation. That's maybe something that our attorney can help with, if that is okay with all of our colleagues. Great. And then, of course, I know that we have our Little League here, and we do want to be, I would hope that we are able to be supportive of them and help them in any way that we can to get to Montana and Arizona. And maybe Oregon. So that's something that we can look into, and as long as the council's okay, we can give direction to Enrique to pan something out for them.
Mayor, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. So I just want to first and foremost acknowledge the 3 teams who have they've made it this far, and it's amazing. And I just want to comment on their sportsmanship and their caliber of playing. And I'm going to take a comment from what Nicole said, which is our director from District 19. She said the caliber of our youth that come from Baldwin Park, they're like beyond, right? And then she said it's not just your sport, your athletes, it's your parent support, your leagues, your everything about those kids, and they really want it. And to see the 2 softball teams make it, I mean, we've been all over. We've been to Grand Terrace, we've been to Glendale, we've been to Bloomington, we've been to Upland, we've been to Moreno Valley as of late. But I just want to acknowledge them first and foremost for their sportsmanship and their athleticism and their dedication. And I've told people before, a very good friend of mine who graduated from Sierra Vista High School in 1995, he's a trauma surgeon. He always told me that diamonds come from Baldwin Park. And let me just tell you, those children right there are amazing. So anything that we can do to support them, we already have in line. I know that we're probably going to miss the taco today at American, I'm trying to get out of here quick, American Little League, but I know that we are also having, we're working collaboratively with Alfonso from La Cosecha and Michoacana. So Friday all day, anybody that goes to La Michoacana Premium, you just mentioned Little League, and percentage of those that day's monies will go towards the leagues, maybe two teams, maybe 3. We are hoping for 3 teams. Also, for those of us who probably our schedules are tight, I would like us to consider if possibly maybe a facility here at the park. Maybe we could have some sort of a watch party, because I know that it's online, a lot of those games. So maybe that we can generate something like that, Maria, in a facility maybe that's open. I'll just have to forward you the schedules and see if that's a possibility as well, so that we can, support from home our student athletes. And I would hope that based on the consensus of the council, that we can financially, give some sort of support. And I just want to say I'm very proud, Eddie, you know that, and just to reiterate that to Victor as well. That I'm really proud of those girls and the boys too. Thank you.
I don't know if it's too late, but since we're having the concert in the park on Thursday and Michoacana is doing that on Friday, are they a vendor, and would they be willing, like if we, if there was an announcement on stage to support Michoacana at the concert in the park for the purpose of sending the girls, to the championship, or I'm sorry, sending the teams to the championship. Is that a possibility?
They've already been like marketing it for the Friday.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I think we have 2 games on Friday, right? There's 2 games on Friday. So it's kind of going in line with that, but yeah,
Okay.
but it's going to be, we'll use the concert as a
Yeah.
promotional.
Just thinking, because you have people at the park, and from Baldwin Park, and, so, but okay.
They're a vendor too. They would generate.
They can start taking donations there.
I was gonna say, would you guys be able to do maybe like a 50-50 there? 'Cause
You mean
those
at the
are-
park?
Those are big, yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you can do a 50-50. I mean, I would imagine that a lot of the people in the city would support
Sell
our kids.
tickets.
we could do a
announce it.
50-50 tomorrow at the
Maybe
concert.
like a 50-50 or something, or, promote donations. I'm pretty sure there'd be a pretty big crowd.
I think
I
so.
think that would be. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but
maybe
we
send
could
a
announce,
representative.
we could
Yeah.
announce, and is there a possibility that maybe staff could help us? Oh, maybe our staff, our great recreation community service staff could,
I would be more than happy to sell.
and
them in my
and
booth.
I would too. And
Yeah,
I
so
would,
I can put some on my booth, and I'd be more than happy to sell them. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do a team effort, and if you want to send some of your representatives from the league, I mean,
we will do
we'll
it.
kind of huddle there tomorrow and see how we'll do it.
Okay.
And we'll figure out a way to see how much we can raise for tomorrow.
With that being said, can somebody run a Smart and Final to buy raffle tickets, or I guess I don't, do we?
Right now, let's just go.
Yeah, did somebody-
Honorable Mayor.
You could do it during the
RCS.
day tomorrow.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, RCS will coordinate the tickets and buckets, and we just need the volunteers to help us
I'll be
sell the
willing to help.
tickets, and we'll make sure we announce during
But
the
we'll
stage
take
here
care of it
after.
tomorrow. We'll figure it out one way or another.
Mhm.
And also, I don't know if we have a short window to create some sort of like social media post or something, just letting people know, like even a few hours in advance, that we'll be selling some raffle tickets.
And we'll be announcing it during the park at the beginning, at the half. We'll be announcing it during the concert to make sure everybody knows.
And I'm happy to help in any way I can.
And so these are additional ideas and efforts we're going to make in addition to hopefully some sort of,
Yes, so,
Contribution. Thank you.
council member, we hear your direction. I will work with Rose, our finance director, to identify funds that we can make available to. So when will you know about the third team? On Friday, Eddie? Okay.
And then Mayor, I just had one last thing. I know most of us, or all of us, received the email from Mario Maciel, our planning commissioner, who resigned as effective immediately due to circumstances that he's moving out of the city. But he did serve as a planning commissioner for 10 years. So I just wanted to, before we logged off, I wanted to say, I want to thank him for his service to the planning commission and to our community, and just let him know that he will be missed as well. Thank you.
Yes, and then maybe we can make sure that we get him a plaque to recognize his years of service as well.
Bring him back to council, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, if there's no more comments, questions, comments, or concerns, it's 8:54 PM and I will move to adjourn the meeting. Any objections? So let me redact that. I will move to adjourn a special meeting and the regular meeting because I didn't adjourn it earlier. There's no objections, then both meetings are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Good night.